Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because we're all a bunch of deadbeats. Yeah, all of us, each and every one of us. And please, as usual, like the video. Please hit the subscribe button. And oh yeah, it's Saturday. Ooh, you know what that means? Mommy, mom yoga. Anyways, plus we have a sponsor today, Ageless Multi-Collagen, and I'll cover them a little later. First things first, guys, Moodys, the rating agency, they came out and took our credit rating for the United States from stable to negative. Now, I have to read this one thing to you because I want to make sure I get this right. You know, because of our large deficits and because of our political polarization in Congress, this is affecting us in the world's economy. Oh, okay. So understand this. For us to get out of debt as a country, we're going to be paying higher interest rates all the way around as a result of this. And you know how it is. You've missed a few payments. You know, you were a deadbeat in college and you overextended yourself and did the wrong thing, and it caught up with you. And you know what? When you wanted to buy a car, you paid more for it. Well, get ready. The United States government is going to be paying more for interest during this time. It's going to happen. And again, we all learned, majority of people learned about Moody's and from the movie The Big Short and how the rating agencies came out and rated things, and sometimes they weren't accurate. But the Biden administration was furious with this. How dare you say this? We're doing great as a country. We're a mess, guys. We're an absolute mess. The fact that we can't get along, we all grew up in a political world where there were two sides, okay? And with those two sides, you may have disagreed, but we all had a common goal to get us across the finish line as a country. Now we don't have that. You're stupid if you're on the other side. And it's affecting things economically. Now, the one thing that I talked about a couple videos ago was how certain people want to sit there and tell me that things are great and that, you know, people are spending more money than ever. Think about this. Great article below about rich people. People that have over $1 million to freely invest. In other words, not just their retirement account, but they could go out and invest $1 million. So they are basically millionaires. Now the millionaires right now, the majority of them don't feel rich right now. They don't sit around and say, hey, I'm loaded, I'm wealthy, okay? In fact, over 61% of them think that they're upper middle class right now, okay? That's one thing. The income level right now for people to be above average, really well off, is $175,000 a year. A lot of us would be thrilled to be making $175,000 a year, but the problem with that is that it's not enough money to get by. And when you look at this, okay, it's just these people don't consider themselves wealthy. There was a great book that somebody gave me decades ago called The Millionaire Next Door, and they go, please just read it, please just read it, please just read it. And the thing that was fascinating about this, the thing that stuck in my head through all these years, was when they started to interview very wealthy people, and the writers that put this together were going to bring wealthy people in to interview them, and they had a big lavish spread at a nice hotel. These people didn't care about that. They didn't care about nice things. The majority of them drove old cars. The majority of them did not overextend themselves and were not buying McLarens and cars they couldn't afford, and Teslas and things like that. They didn't exist then, but you know what I mean. So people didn't overextend themselves and live that way. They live a simple life. They live a conservative life. The problem with flash is that the people that have flash think that people like that are boring. Now, what I preach, and what I preach to my friends, is to go out and to be conservative fiscally, okay? Go out and not just spend money for the sake of spending money. You know, it's funny. I was at the stadium this week dealing with my angel seats and talking about that with the crew over there for the year. And they're like, hey, listen, Monster Jam is this weekend. And I'm like, well, what's that, the monster trucks? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, would you like some tickets for that? I'm thinking the guy's going to give me tickets. And he's like, listen, I can get you a suite. It's going to be X amount of dollars. And I'm like, huh? Number one, I don't know who would want to go with me to that. And number two, I'm not going to spend that kind of money. Oh, come on, you got that kind of money. You can afford that. And again, just because I have that kind of money doesn't mean I'm going to waste that kind of money on Monster Jam, okay? So, anyways, if I call and invite you to Monster Jam, I hope you're going to go. Do you get it? Read these articles because it's fascinating, guys. These people that are out there that don't have any money, want to get to a certain level. The people that have that kind of money are not living high in the hog right now. They are not overextending themselves. And this is a bad thing, that our country is completely upside down. I found another great article about breaking down what T-bills are and what in different investments are. We hear about the bond auctions and things like that. This breaks it all down for you in simple layman's terms. It makes it really, really simple so that you can understand this. So I won't bore you with the details on it right now, but take a look below on all that stuff and let me know what you think. And again, are you wealthy? Do you think you have all the money you need? The majority of these people that do have it don't think that they do. They want to live a safe, conservative life. Let's talk about our sponsor, Ageless Multi-Collagen. BioTrust is a company that has shipped over 15 million products. One thing that they sell that I use every day is Ageless Multi-Collagen. I do not start my day without putting a scoop of that in my coffee. Collagen helps us with our skin health, our nail health, our hair health, eye health, gut health. It's absolutely been considered a wonder drug. Now, the people at BioTrust have set up a website, healthwithdan.com. You can go there and save 51% off the regular price. It's absolutely amazing. But think about this. When we're 20, we have an abundance of collagen in our system. And as we get older, we lose collagen. Basically, when we're in our 50s, we have 20% of the collagen. What you need to do is supplement that. The best supplement is Ageless Multi-Collagen. Check it out today. Everybody says, oh, my crepey skin is because I'm just getting old and that's, there's nothing you can do about it. There is something you can do about it. Contact them today. Go to healthwithdan.com and sign up and get yourself some Ageless Multi-Collagen. So many of you have purchased this and you reorder all the time, but go to healthwithdan.com today. Now, one thing that we have heard a lot about lately is the cyber attacks. The world's largest bank by assets is a Chinese bank called ICBC. They just got hit by a cyber attack by the same people that hit the Royal Bank of UK, Boeing, Lockbit, okay? These guys are a prolific gang. They call themselves a gang too, which is wild. But these guys are out there and they've attached the world's largest bank. The idea with this is to show you that they can get anybody at any time. Doesn't matter what language you speak, doesn't matter where you're located, they're going to be able to get you. So again, guys, protect yourself. Look at the VPNs, look at things like that. There's one private internet access that I always recommend. Take a look at that. But do yourself a favor, guys. You've got to protect yourself. You've got to be leery of when you go online. And I want to talk to you guys about something that was sent to me that was wild, and that was a man was dealing with Wells Fargo, and it's his bank. And Wells Fargo sent him a text and said, listen, we've got some suspicious charges that we've frozen and we want to ask you about them. So, he's like, okay, well, I'll call Wells Fargo Bank. And right then he got a phone call from Wells Fargo. So he's like, okay, that's timing. And the guy's like, hey, it's John from Wells Fargo Bank. Guy spoke perfect English. And I want to talk to you about this. And the guy was in Nevada. And he says, listen, this was in another state. It was in Tennessee. And did you do this purchase? We declined them. And we just want to make sure that there's nothing else. But did you authorize these transactions? No, I did not. And he says, well, listen, we need you to log into your online portal with me while I'm on the phone. And right then the guy said, wait a second, why would you need me to do that? He said, isn't this enough that I called you back? And he says, what we want to do is make sure that there's no other charges that are out there. And he says, okay, hang on a second. So with another phone, starts dialing Wells Fargo. He says, hey, I've got Wells Fargo. What department are you in? Person on the phone immediately hung up. Now, he then went to Wells Fargo Bank and explained to them what happened. And they said, these rings are getting so sophisticated right now, and they have no shame, and it's getting better and better and better as far as the quality of the scam. But what they explained to him was he has a Samsung phone, and if he would have logged in or pressed on the link, it immediately would have taken his data and stolen his data in such a way that he would have been done. And it would have, any transaction, any activity would have gone to their account. So what they do is they intercept things, intersect deposits, intersect transactions, and make it so that the money goes directly to their bank. So be careful, guys. Again, if you have this, if you have anything you're not sure of, call them. It's that simple. I myself keep getting phone calls from CVS. And I contacted my insurance man about this. I said, why am I getting these? It's a total scam. And they sound legit. It looks legit. And what it is, hey, we want to get your, you want to update your prescription because you have one that's past due. I don't have prescriptions at CVS, guys. So what they do, and what the insurance man explained to me, was that people with good insurance that have higher billing rates, they can spread this around and they can get drugs and pharmaceuticals and charge things that they can go under the radar and they can sell those. So there's certain things that could go to your account that you wouldn't even really notice if you authorized it. And that's what they want to do with CVS. Hey, listen, we just need to refill that, but we need your insurance policy information. And people gleefully give this out, stupidly, okay? If you're not sure, call someone and check it out. The next thing, our main man, Grant Cardone. I love Grant Cardone for a lot of reasons. Grant Cardone is a brilliant salesman and promoter, but he is dead set against you buying a house right now as an investment and wants you to steer clear of real estate. Now, Grant has investments into apartment buildings and different things like that he would be happy to take your money. And he, has all these different REITs and different things that you can be part of. But he is convinced that it is the worst thing that you can do. And there's a great article below talking about how bad it is to own property and that it is a big black hole right now. Now, in real estate right now, we are seeing a tremendous amount of foreclosure uptick right now. And we're seeing banks that are setting up departments right now that they didn't have 9 months ago, 10 months ago, the beginning of the year, let's just put it that way. And what you're seeing is that banks are starting to get REO departments, real estate owned by the banks. And you're starting to see foreclosure auctions like the auto auctions where you have a house, just because it goes to foreclosure doesn't mean it's a good deal. And people have to investigate this. And I had property sent to me this week, and I look at this. People in Orange County that owe $2 million on a house that should probably be worth maybe $1.2 million. So the bank's going to have to eat that. And you're going to see real problems with this, because what people don't realize is when you borrow against a house and it goes back to the bank, you get a 1099 for that. And I know a guy personally that, bought houses last time, and then ended up having stuff go back to the bank, and then surprisingly the next year got all these 1099s from the banks for all the different loans he had, and was just completely upside down with this and owed hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. One story to go along with that: when things were bad, he had 5 houses at one point. Got rid of them, got down to 2. Had to get rid of one of his investment properties, and thought he was going to get $1 million for it. Drop. Sold it for $800,000 even. Made a very little bit amount of money, under 50 grand, probably $30,000. The thing that's wild about this, the people that bought the house, think about what I'm telling you, they never made one payment on the house. They bought the house, got an adjustable loan, and never made one payment, and lived there, I believe, 13 months before they were kicked out of the house. And I'm like, wow, do they have any recourse to you because you sold in the house? Nope, none. So we're about to see that happen again, guys. You're about to see this thing go completely upside down and in a negative direction. So share your thoughts on all this stuff so far. Let me know what you think. It's a beautiful morning out here. It's funny how things change from country to country. Here in the States, people think that you need to make $179,000 to be considered, upper middle class, and it varies from state to state, because here in California, it really wouldn't be upper middle class here in California. But in Canada, whole country, they say you need to make $579,000 in Canada to be considered upper middle class. I was blown away by that. I was like, wow, it's a lot of money. So I think you'd be rich if you made $579,000. That's just me. Burger King. Anybody been to a Burger King lately? It is one of the latest burger chains to go down, and a franchisee that has stores in the South and mainly in the Atlanta area, but he has 122 Burger Kings, just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Big deal. And he's going to try to reorganize, and they have a franchise model, and you have to pay a percentage back to Burger King and everything that you sell, and they are just not making money, and they don't have the sales that they used to have, and it's destroying the company and the business model. And one thing that happened with this guy was the main guy that ran the company died in 2022, and his successors haven't been able to run it, which is lesson number one, guys. Have a succession plan in everything in your life. Have a succession plan in your business, with your spouse, with your girlfriends, with your children, with everybody. What happens if? Okay? Because I'm telling you guys, I've lived through this. If happens, it does. People die, guys. And if you don't have a plan, it's on you. So from somebody that lived with somebody with stage 4 cancer, we talked about this a lot and had it all worked out. Thank God for that. Okay? Now, for a bit of good news, coming from Amazon of all places. If you're a Prime member, Amazon bought a company called One Medical about a year and a half ago, and they wanted to go to virtual office visits and virtual, a way of having healthcare virtually. So if you pay $99 a year, you can then pay $9 a month for virtual healthcare through Amazon. So you can see a doctor, you can see a professional, and get prescriptions provided to you. Amazon paid $3.6 billion for One Medical, and people at the time were like, wow, they overpaid for this. They didn't. But think about this. If you are an Amazon Prime member and you want to add a family member, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, anybody like that, you can add them for $66 a year and they can get health care. So if this works out, it's kind of going under the radar, and I'm sure the insurance companies don't want this talked about, but if this works and they can pull this off and you can get health care for $99 a year, and you get a prescription if you take metformin, or you take glimepiride or anything like that, or you take your blood pressure medicine or anything like that, you're going to be able to get this stuff pretty cheap. But think about this, okay? Will it work for everything? Absolutely not. Is it going to be a replacement for a cancer treatment? No. Oh, I've got, rheumatoid arthritis, Dan. I don't think it's going to help you there. Parkinson's, stuff like that, heavy duty stuff, I don't think it's going to work. But general health care, I think that this is going to revolutionize things. So take a look at it. The story is below, and you can see, if this is for you or not. And, I'm just curious. I would like to try it just to see what services you can get from this. But anyways, let me know. Share your thoughts on all this stuff. I'm going to end this video with these last few stories and just a few comments from you guys. I appreciate all the email that you guys have sent me, and all the notes that you send to the P.O. Box. The address is below for those of you that want it. But it is a lost art, guys, for people to go out and write a note, get a card, and things like that. We're going to have Christmas cards this year. We're going to have a Christmas giveaway that we're going to announce in the next week. And but I appreciate everything that you guys send me. I really do. And in Australia, Optus Telco, the main telecom company, is down. The woman that sent me this sent me via Facebook Messenger, sent me a message that their phone service is down. That's horrible. Truist Bank down again in the South since 8 a.m. yesterday. Again, guys, this is awful. These are warnings that you have to have. What happens if your cell phone goes down and you have no service? What do you do? Now, one thing I always tell people is, and do not go out and do this unless you have a need for it. I'm a content creator and have multiple businesses and I have multiple phones, okay? But they're with different carriers, guys, so if one of them goes down, I've got phone service from somebody else. I've even got prepaid on some of them and a satellite phone for that matter, okay? So I'm gonna be able to communicate with people, okay? Final story that floored me was, our beef producers here have taken they've just been killed this year. Low crops, low amount of cattle herd, slow crops. Yeah, they're growing beef, they're through the ground. Anyways, low herds count, and our beef herds are off like 51%. It's horrible. We're gonna now start importing beef from Paraguay, and they don't have the same standards that we do. Read the story, it's awful. Now, whether you eat beef or not, it's irrelevant. The fact that we're just, no big deal. Take care of our own, guys. Take care of our own. Support the farmers. The farmers are getting absolutely butchered. People are selling farmland to turn it into housing projects that no one's going to be able to afford to buy. Remember that. So, just a quick video today for my run. Onward and upward, guys. If you want to reach out, it's hello@iallegedly.com. I'll see you guys very soon.